Hello and welcome to Runescape Stats Episode 1. In this series I'm going to attempt to use basic math and statistics to answer questions about Runescape. Topics will include things like how many coins are there, how many total levels have been gained, how much experience. This week's episode will try to answer the question, do more people play RuneScape 3 or Old School Runescape? Lately I've seen a lot of arguing in the comment sections of RuneScape YouTube videos. It's really unfortunate to see players of one game dissing the other. Personally, I was primarily a RuneScape 3 player until about 4 months ago. Now I mainly play Old School RuneScape, but I do think both games are fun. For this experiment, I used a random number generator to pick 49 out of the 168 hours in a week. At each chosen hour, I checked to see how many people were on RuneScape. It had to be done this way in order to get a truly random sample. This meant setting alarms for 3 or 4 in the morning at times just to get up and check and see how many people were on RuneScape, which kind of sucked. So, based on the RuneScape homepage, there were about 72,000 people online on average. Now, keep in mind that if you play during peak times, you might see higher numbers. This factors in all times of the day. To break down the numbers by game, we take the number for OSRS straight from the page, and that's about 35.4 thousand players. For RuneScape 3, we take the main page number minus OSRS minus RuneScape Classic, which came down to about 700 players at any given time. This gives us 35.7k players for RuneScape 3. So RuneScape 3 wins, right? Not so fast. This is where the stats in RuneScape Stats comes in. It's time to compare samples. In order to do this, we're going to be using a form of hypothesis testing called a paired t-test. This will involve choosing a null hypothesis and an alternative hypothesis. In this case, our null hypothesis will be that the number of Old School RuneScape players equals the number of RuneScape 3 players, and the alternative hypothesis will be that they are not equal. Using the t-test function in Google Sheets, we get a t-statistic of 0.35, which is greater than 0.05, therefore we accept the null hypothesis and conclude that OSRS and RuneScape 3 have statistically similar active populations. I am aware that these numbers probably include people in the lobby as counting for RuneScape 3 and of course all the bots in Old School RuneScape, but I found it interesting how close the numbers really are to each other. Of course this isn't perfect, but I think it provides a pretty good representation of the populations of the game, and I hope someone was able to find this helpful. If you did, please let me know what you think, leave a like, leave a comment. Thank you for watching. Check back next week for another episode, and in the meantime, maybe check out some of my PK videos.